Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. So in today's video, we have here the Redmi Note 10 Pro. I know I just covered the Redmi Note 10, the non-Pro version, like a couple of days ago, and I was really pleased with that device. But here comes its bigger brother, and it is slightly more powerful than the standard non-Pro version. So in today's video, let me talk to you about what this device is all about, what you get in the box, and what kind of experience that you would expect to get from this guy right here. Alright, before I begin, I just want to say that this device here is launched in Malaysia at a very attractive price point of 999 ringgit for the base variant that comes with 6GB of RAM. But mine here is actually the one with 8GB of RAM. So this is 1099 ringgit here in Malaysia. So very affordable price range. This is basically the so-called, how should I put it, early mid-range kind of king of the devices out there. So it comes with a lot of features here at a very affordable price point. But enough talking about that, let's see what came in the box. Right, so obviously I've already unboxed this guy right here, and what came in the box was pretty standard, what you get in almost every box these days. You do get the fast charger, a 33-watt charger right here, which is still good because you get that in the box. Alright, apart from that, you also get your Type-C cable, and last but not least, you get a matte kind of silicone case in the box, which I think is pretty good because it's something new, not the kind of cases, the transparent ones that you usually get. So this is good as well to provide some kind of basic protection. And of course, we do get the device, the Redmi Note 10 Pro right here. Alright, so I'm going to put all this stuff aside for now so that we can focus on the device itself. Alright, so as soon as I remove this device from the box, the design does look very similar to the Redmi Note 10, the standard version right here. They do look quite similar, except this has a slightly more bulkier camera lens at the back. So what I mean by that is pushing this aside for now. If you notice, this is the non-Pro version and it lies flat on the table. But for this particular Note 10 Pro, it will wobble quite a lot. But that's because it comes with a larger sensor as well. So I'll talk more about that later. In terms of the design and build quality, again, we're getting a very solid device right here with the Redmi Note 10 Pro. One thing I need to note is that the back panel here is also very glossy and it's very prone to fingerprint being sticking on it all the time. So you might want to take note about that. I did wish it came with like a matte back, but here's what we got. We got this shiny back cover here. My device is the gray or the black version. There might be a special name for it, but it's just black. And to be honest, it looks pretty good. I like the way how these Redmi devices are looking like these days. Like I said, one last look between the non-Pro version as well as the Pro. And I also have my K40 right here. So actually, they all do look pretty alike. So tell me which one do you actually prefer here, from the smallest camera bump to the medium camera bump to the largest camera bump on the K40. Alright, so I'm going to put these two devices aside now because we're not talking about them. Let's go back to the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Flipping the device to the front here, we get a very nice Super AMOLED display. And why I say it's nice is because it is also a high refresh rate display at 120Hz, and it also supports HDR10. That means watching content on the Redmi Note 10 Pro is just going to be much better compared to any other normal kind of device. So again, a very nice display here, high refresh rate. So far, everything has been very smooth. I just love how the animations just, they just move on so quickly. So that's something very good about this display. Definitely one of the better ones out there and very suitable for, like watching YouTube videos, Netflix and all that on this display right here. So contrast levels are great. Saturation levels are also very good. Brightness levels is decent. I can definitely see the screen when I was outdoors just now, even under very bright sunlight. So that's a plus point there. Alright, so one thing I need to touch on is that we do have a fingerprint scanner on the side. I almost missed that out earlier. So this fingerprint scanner here is actually looks like a standard kind of button, and it actually was pretty fast. So let me just show you very quickly. There you go. So it unlocks very fast. Just look at that speed, guys. So yeah, just in case you're wondering, these days we're always wearing masks and all that. So this fingerprint scanner is definitely very helpful, also because it's so blazing fast. Alright, now let's talk about what's powering this device. So in here we have a Snapdragon 732 coupled with 8GB of RAM like I mentioned just now, and 128GB of internal memory. So it is UFS 2.2 if I'm not mistaken. So not the fastest to actually transfer files to and fro, but definitely good enough for this kind of price range. I'm very happy to say at this price range, getting this kind of processor is almost very difficult to find in the market these days. And I think the Redmi Note 10 Pro is just one of those few devices out there in the market that can actually provide this kind of processor coupled with the kind of RAM at this kind of price point. So definitely very good performance there. Unfortunately, I'm not able to access Geekbench and 3D Mark, so I can't share with you any benchmark scores. But what I can tell you is that I've been gaming on this device again with my Mobile Legends right there, and I'm very pleased to say that the experience was very smooth. So it was a bit out of my expectations because I didn't expect it to be that smooth. I need to point out that the ultra high frame rate kind of thing definitely works very well on this kind of display right here. Even when playing the game, I could definitely feel that extra smoothness in terms of the graphics. So gaming on this device was very smooth. It didn't even heat up even after like 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay. So I'm definitely pleased to say that if you're a kind of gamer and you're looking for a mid-range device, or maybe even like an entry high-level kind of device, this one here, the Redmi Note 10 Pro, will definitely work and satisfy your gaming needs. Alright, so since gaming is out of the way, obviously normal daily tasks like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook and all that, they all also launch pretty quickly. So just to show you a quick idea on how they launch, we have YouTube right here. Let's see, not now. Okay, I got some songs playing just now. So this is what you get here with YouTube. Of course, you also have your Facebook right there. And yeah, so this is the kind of speeds you can expect from apps launching on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Alright, so on that note, I want to move on to the next point, and that is the cameras at the back. So we do have a huge bump here like I mentioned just now, and this is housing a 108 megapixel main sensor, 8 megapixel ultra-wide, 5 megapixel, what is that again? A 5 megapixel depth sensor, and finally a 2 megapixel macro lens. So it is a quad camera setup right here, if you can see it on my camera lens right there. So in terms of camera performance, I don't like to talk about numbers. Let's talk about how the images look like. So I did take a couple of photos both indoors and outdoors as well as in the night. So I have a lot of photos here to show you guys. Please take a look at these photos here, guys. We have these daylight shots that look really nice. What I think about these daylight shots, if I were to sum it up in just like a sentence, is that the colors here are actually looking pretty natural. They don't look so saturated like other devices out there. Daylight shots was decent. I wouldn't say it's very, very sharp and all that. It's pretty good. I want to point out the portrait mode, which actually did a decent job at trying to, distinguish between my position as well as the background. So I was able to get some pretty nice bokeh or like blurred out background at the back. So that's pretty nice here as well. In terms of the night mode, I was able to get in a couple of decent shots as well. I kind of like how the night mode is being done here. It isn't too noisy and it isn't too like stylized like some other kind of cameras out there. So I would say that in terms of daylight shots, portrait shots as well as night mode, you can expect this Redmi Note 10 Pro here to perform pretty steadily. Alright, so moving on to my next point, I did notice something a bit strange with the Redmi Note 10 Pro, and that is my internet speed connection. Alright, so just to give you an idea, basically the speed that I'm subscribed to right now is 800 Mbps down, but I noticed that I was only able to get about 300 megs, so I'm not sure what's the deal with this device right here. On other devices, I'm definitely able to hit at least 500 or 600, but my download speeds on the Redmi Note 10 Pro right here is only hitting, yeah, like you see, about 300-ish, but it's never been able to hit like 500 Mbps, even though my plan is 800 Mbps. So yeah, just want to point that out, that the internet speeds can't get blazing fast, but yeah, I guess it's still quite fast. Alright, so that's that for the internet speed. Moving on, I want to touch very quickly about the battery life. So we do have a 5020 mAh battery in this Redmi Note 10 Pro. So far, not much issues. As always, I'm able to get one full day on one single charge. And if you have not enough juice, where's that charger? You can actually pump this up using the charger that came in the box. It does 0 to 60% in about 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty quick there for this charger that came in the box. Alright, last but not least, let's talk about the stereo speakers that came on the device. So they do go pretty loud, not too bassy. The sound sounds pretty good, very similar to the one on the Redmi Note 10, the standard version. They both sound quite similar actually. Yeah, so Speakers wise are definitely good here as well on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. To sum up my first impressions with the Redmi Note 10 Pro, I must say that I'm really impressed with what we can get today at this kind of price point. So again, at 1,099 ringgit, it's really a no-brainer. There is no other device out there that can offer better value or maybe even better performance for this price range. If you know one device that does, please let me know so I can review it for you. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for my video right here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below and hit that like button if you feel like supporting me today. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!